Right, today we have to go air conditioner upgrade, which is sad because the air conditioner uses like all hours now. But I'm keeping everything else on off grid. The air conditioner has to go off now. There was the sun just earlier. Just finished putting up the TV, banged on that clip, and a storm's coming in, boys. Well, it's dark clouds, it's not a storm, but somewhere it's going to rain not too far from here later on tonight or something. But because it's thick clouds like that thick, even with thick clouds like that, so that's usually winter days, right? It's not enough for the aircon, but it's summer. So we have coming through several thousand watts, but we're using, now I've turned off the air conditioner. We're using that. TV off. Fridge kicks in every now and then and might go up to about 1,000 or so. But that's what we're using, which is fans going and stuff like that. And so I just left everything off grid except the aircon at the moment in days like this, which is sad. Other than that, you can go off grid, but in hot, gloomy days like that, you won't able to.
Alright, it says cloudy for the rest of the day.
There you go, you heard it said cloudy for the rest of the day, so I'm just going to leave it like that, and then it's going to get a little bit better later on. But yeah, so when it comes to aircon, you can't use aircon at this time. Weather, you open up the windows and all that. The exhaust fan helps a lot now. It gets cool, definitely if the weather goes like that, and it's still not much wind, and it gets shitty and it rains and it dies down like it is now, not much wind. It gets hot and muggy, and so having the exhaust fan, which is good. I've noticed definitely that back room used to be the hottest. Now it doesn't get hot. It keeps it cool. If I let the house cool air suck in through the door and keep the window shut in the morning, because that's where the sun rises, it keeps it all cool all day now. It works really good. And so if you have some fans and an exhaust fan, they're a lot cheaper to run. You can cool your house a little bit like evaporative cooling. I've got that running there. But evaporative cooling, I could probably bang that on and keep it under 1,000 and beat that at up to 500, and just have the battery kick in and every now and then for the freezer. And then when you turn it off and the power dies down, it feeds back to the battery. So you can sort of still make it work. But there you go. Lately, it's been gloomy. Me timer played up the other day. I fixed up the other thing, and then the timer wasn't quite right, so I left on the power again. And I had a power moment the other day. It calls that power moment at a certain time. But certain people might talk about certain times as they can look into the future and blab about certain things if there were certain psychics. But it doesn't mean there's magic or anything like that. So you've got to be careful about what's going on out there and how people are saying and presenting things. Like what I'm listening to now. Sounds familiar, right? And if you're a psychic, you could look into the future and see certain things. But what you say after you see, which is in the witch stories, is another thing. And everybody manipulates, don't they? And so you've got to be very careful about what they say and try to plan. Now, if I put this up on the list, what could that look like? Right? So what I've done is I've put it up, just like they're talking about now. See, I just accidentally hit a button. Unless you're watching me like a stalker, you wouldn't see that I've done that. But if they talk about that I did, well, there you go. But that's where I put it. Their games, right? For the moment. But have a good one, and see you later.